call the meeting to order. Board of Education.
I don't know, just for introduction's sake, everyone I think knows Superintendent Mr. Serio, Art Monterella, the Assistant Superintendent, on the back deck, Frank Mioli, Administrative Director, yes. AKA used to be Technology. Mary, our special ed lady, and the gentleman that's right behind you is Robert Faceto. He's the accounting manager for the board. We do have quite a packet here. Yeah, but I know Tony has a whole presentation, and I think I know the board members probably have some questions, but might as well let Tony start, and we'll see where we end up.
To skip through some of the preliminaries in the front of this town history and what have you. The board has been working on establishing this budget since early fall of 2006, and after we have received all information from department heads and have put all our new contractual obligations into place with increases, the total amount that we are asking for the Board of Education is $43,355,416, which is an increase of $2,752,804, or approximately 6.78% over the current amount that we've received from the town in this year previous. Things I would like to point out is that our certified, non-certified positions for salary comprise 57.3% of our total budget at a 24.8 figure. These are salaries, these are contractual by nature, and that's a big chunk of where we spend our money. The salaries, as you know, are driven by negotiations and how we settle our contracts with the collective bargaining units. I think we've made some gains over the years with increasing contributions to medical cost share, and tried to keep the percentage of increase down to what I feel has the town's ability to pay. And I use that as a selling point in our negotiations with each and every bargaining unit. Again, those are not done in isolation. Those are done with department heads and the business and finance officers who also assist me with those negotiations. At times we do have legal representation depending on bargaining unit and size of the bargaining unit, and if we think we're going to wind up in mediation or arbitration, we more than likely will get legal representation. That 24.8 is a figure, but then to that you need to add $7,326,015. Approximately a 16.9 of our budget goes to categories of medical, dental, life, employees' contributions to Medicare, FICA, and MIF, the Municipal Employees Retirement Fund. Putting those two together, you can see that a good majority of our budget is consumed through salaries and fringe benefits. Our expenses for the budget are $11,175,189, and that constitutes approximately 25.8% of our total spending in this proposal. For information, for 2007-08 fiscal year, the special ed tuition transportation alone are estimated at $3,763,831. This is an ever-increasing cost to the town. It comes directly out of budget. It is special ed, however, in some of those tuition accounts, we also Lyman Hall, Sound School, and other out-of-district placements that are regular ed placements. We used to have better control of that over years past. We were able to cap the amount of students that would go to some of these tuition schools. However, due to the state legislation, not only are we unable to cap them, they have eliminated the reimbursement that we used to get from the state. At one point, we used to get almost 80% reimbursement for tuition, and now we have to pick up the total tuition and the total transportation for those non-special ed students. So that's, to give you an example, just off the top of my head, we may be incurring a tuition bill for Sound School next year, somewhere in the area of $350,000, and that's without transportation. So it gets very costly. Even now that many of our students attend the magnet schools in New Haven, we are being charged tuition to send our students there also. It had been something that we didn't pay for in the past. All we used to pay for was the transportation. I tried to get somewhat creative with transportation and get my own vehicles to transport the students to the out-of-district placements. And I would say a good 90% of our students are transported with our buses. And there are additional busing and transportation needs that Mary will secure through special ed for single students or a couple of students that are going to an out-of-way area. And it's not cost efficient for us to tie up a bus, because most of our buses that do out-of-district come back and do in-district runs also throughout the day. And then they go back and return, and then come back and finish in the afternoon with elementary and kindergarten runs. So that's pretty much the dollars piece. I just want to frame this whole presentation in the fact that I think the town has been generous to us in our tenure at central office, to Superintendent of Police and myself. And even though we have not received the total request each and every year, we have been able to make ends meet with what the town has given us. I would be remiss if I didn't tell you that it's been easy. I think last year, for the first time in a long time, we were on the fence as to whether we needed to come back to this board and ask for additional funds. We had some major setbacks with some insurance claims at the high school that cost us a lot of money that was not particularly budgeted for. And I think we had more than our share for one current year. We had a carryover expense of about $125,000 for the accounting procedure, in which we changed the way we pay our teachers. If you remember, we were allocated X amount of millions of dollars to straighten that out, so that we are now currently paying our teachers in the same fiscal year. You will see probably a truer budget number this year than last year. Last year, some of the increases seemed to be exorbitant because we had that 21-5 split, where 21 payments were coming out of the current fiscal year, 5 were rolling over into the new budget.